Hello to you, my father's children. I am excited, delighted, and ignited about the goodness of Jesus, knowing that there's no failure in God. My father's children.
A.G. Lenoir, a father, husband, friend to many, and Helen Lenoir's son.
So all I can do is smile, because that's what he would have wanted his mother to do. Keep going on. He said that several times. Keep moving on. And that's what I'm going to do.
Lenoir was the pastor at Westview Baptist Church in the heart of Opelika, and this is where he died.
There's probable cause for first-degree murder. No bonds.
Stabbed to death, say police, by James Dawkins, who was living at the church. Police responded there Saturday about 5:30 in the afternoon, and they found Lenoir's body. Investigators had a description of the suspect. They knew who they were looking for and arrested Dawkins yesterday a few miles away. Police say the two had an argument. Dawkins returned with a knife and stabbed the pastor several times in the neck. But several people close to this matter do tell us that that argument between the two may have been over the housing situation, with the pastor looking for that suspect, the defendant in the case, to move out of that church.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely magnificent. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Florida by way of Opelika. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Florida. Everybody's out of the great city of Opelika. Now, before I start the story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. Now, also, before I start this story, I want to send a special condolence out to the family and friends of the late pastor. Yes, A.D. Lenoir, because it's very sad and tragic what happened to this pastor at his church, all by the hands of a man that the pastor was trying to help. And this story right here really reminds me of the fact that they have an old saying that no good deed goes unpunished. Now, as you all may know, for those who have followed me for the last 7.5 years, you all know that I go in on these pastors, yes. And these stories I did about these pastors, they deserve it because they were cheating on their wives. They was also cheating with men, and also some of them had sex with children. But this story is not like that. This story is about a good man. And everything I heard on social media about Pastor A.D. Lenoir was very good. Nobody had nothing bad to say about this man. So it goes to show you this man's statue and also this character. This pastor was a good man. Now, tragically, this pastor lost his life, yes, at his church a few days ago by the hands of a guy who goes by the name of James Dawkins. 44 years old. We're going to talk about how old he look in the face because I'm trying to be very serious about the story right here. Now, also, you got to wonder to yourself this right here. Why would a man 44 years old be standing at the pastor's church? And that's a very good question because I was thinking about that also. But you got to think about this also, family. When people that are in these situations, some of these people are there because they deserve to be there. Some of these people are in these situations because they allow these situations to get the best of them. Some of these people are ex-drug heads, ex-convicted felons and whatnot. Not saying nobody is not entitled to make a change. But at the same time, it's what you do after somebody try to help you that warrants that respect and also shows that person that you are grateful for what you have done for them. Now, only thing James Dawkins had to do was obey by the rules. Because the story states also that James Dawkins was not obeying the rules at this church. Now, what rules James Dawkins broke, I do not know. But clearly, the pastor and him was at odds. So the pastor comes to his church sometime Saturday, with a locksmith to change the locks. Now, that's bad when a pastor got to come to his church and get his locks changed. Now, I'm going to ask you all this right here. Why do you think the pastor came to the church with the locksmith to get the locks changed? You know why? Because James Dawkins was there. Notice this right here. The locks didn't get changed before then. The locks only got changed when James Dawkins entered the scene. Now, the pastor shows up with the locksmith at the church, and him and James Dawkins had some kind of confrontation. They did not state how the confrontation went or whatnot, but they said James Dawkins left and came back with a knife and stabbed the pastor multiple times in the neck. And the pastor was found dead later by the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue. But more than anything, this story ought to show you and illustrate to you why you must be selective the people you allow to come into your life. I keep preaching at the people, but evidently not everybody's listening. Not saying that the pastor A.D. Lenoir was not listening because he was following his heart, listening to God, you know. Now, also, as you notice these pictures that I'm showing right now, you know, they're going by pretty fast. It always shows the pastor smiling, always in good spirits, a real person of the community. He was a community activist, a man for the city. Now, you have two types of people in this world, like I tell you all. You have those who build and those who do what? Yes, destroy. You get what I'm saying? The pastor was a builder, clearly, as you all can tell. And now, on the other hand, you have a person like James Dawkins, who was considered a destroyer, because the only thing this pastor tried to do was help this man go on his feet. In a way, James Dawkins paid the pastor back. Guess how? By taking a pastor's life. But it also shows me and reminds me of this old story that they have about the snake. A man that was riding along down the road, he seen a snake that was injured on the side of the road. So the man stopped his vehicle and get out and try to assist the snake. The snake is laying over there about to die. So the man takes the snake back home and nursed the snake back to health. So the man noticed after a few days and a few weeks, the snake started getting his strength back. And he also noticed that the snake started hissing at him. Now, the hiss was the first sign to get rid of what? The snake. Because clearly this man did not know really what he was getting himself involved in. Now, also, the story goes this right here. The man was ready to bring the snake back to where he found the snake was. Release the snake back into the wild. But the snake did not want to go. So guess what? As soon as the man got ready to put the snake inside the vehicle to drop the snake back off where he picked him up at, that's when the snake turned on him and bit the man. And as the man was laying dying, he asked the snake one simple question with his last few breaths. He said, "Why did you bite me? Why did you attack me?" And guess what the snake said? The snake looked at him clearly and hissed and said, "You forgot I was a snake." And let that sink into you all right there, because some of you all forget these people that you come in contact with. So what I'm trying to say is this right here. You cannot help everybody, and you must be very careful and selective of those you give your time to, because guess what? They may not be receptive of the love and gratitude that you are trying to extend to them, and they will turn on you clearly the same way James Dawkins did. But anyway, James Dawkins has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder, and rightfully so. A sad situation. And his pastor was a married man, 41 years old, with 4 children. Been married for 2 decades to his wife. So it goes to show you, this pastor was not like these other pastors I did stories on. This pastor was not abusing his wife. From what I heard, wasn't cheating on his wife. He was a straight up stand-up guy, a man of God. And that's the reason for this story right here. Because I'm like this. If I can tell you the bad stories, I can also tell you the good stories. If I can talk about the bad pastors, I can also talk about the good pastors. But anyway, we'll break the rest down as I read a snippet from this story. I'm going to read a quick snippet from this story, and I'm going to give my opinion. All of it. Surely, as we go, Florida pastor stabbed to death at his church by a man who was living there. He was trying to help this man get on his feet. And guess what? The man didn't want to do a damn thing but sit up here and do what the hell he want to do. That's why the man, James Dawkins, that is, was breaking all the rules. In the moment the pastor got ready to get rid of him, that's when James Dawkins showed his true colors. Just like the snake did to that man I just told you the story about. Anyway, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue discovered Lenore's body on Saturday with multiple stab wounds around his neck area. On the day of the murder, the pastor had called a locksmith to change several of the church's door locks, and an argument escalated between Lenore and also old-faced James Dawkins. Now, why do you think they was arguing? Because the pastor wanted him out. The pastor wanted him to go somewhere else. Because guess what? You are at your welcome here. And you have people like that in your life. Most of them are your family and your friends. Most are your family. Let me ask you all this also. Have you ever let somebody come stay with you and they try to take over and run your damn house like it's their house? You get what I'm saying? And also, have you ever let somebody come stay with you and they lock you outside? I had that happen a couple times. You get what I'm saying? I had to call the police for my own family at my own damn house. Like, how you gonna lock me out my home that I'm paying for? You get what I'm saying? But you have people like that. They'll take what's yours and try to make it theirs. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, the 44-year-old suspect had been permitted to live temporarily at the church. Now, the key word in this whole situation is what? Temporarily. You have some people who would sit up here and try to stay with you forever. And you looking at them like, look here, I was just only offering to help you just for a little bit until you got yourself together. Now, look here, I'm not your mom or your dad or anything like that. So therefore, I cannot take care of you. But you have grown-ass people out here who expect you to take care of them. And also adding to the story, as the pair argued, the confrontation escalated after James Dawkins stabbed Lenore multiple times before fleeing the scene. And this picture right here shows the moment they caught his dumb ass. And I am so glad they caught him. Now, man, look here. You don't have nothing to lose. But guess what, though? Think about this also, family. It's always the people who ain't got a damn thing to lose that will try to make you lose everything. And guess what? If they can't make you lose everything, they'll try to make you lose your life, as in the case of this story right here. Now, this pastor, as you all can tell, had everything going for himself. He was a community activist. He had his own church. He worked at a school. He was a pillar in his community. And what James Dawkins had? Nothing. The pastor was a married man with 4 children, had his whole life laid out. And his only mistake was reaching down, trying to help somebody that was in the gutter, not trying to talk down on anybody that's down their luck. But at the same time, when people reach down to help you, you must show that you are thankful for them helping you. And more than anything, you should be very grateful for them reaching down to help your butt, because I'm sure James Dawkins' family did not let him stay with them, because if that's the case, he would have been with them. But guess what? You had to go to a whole complete stranger, a whole pastor that wasn't even blood related to you, and you took advantage of that man. Anyway, let's go and close up. Now, here's where things get real dirty at, and it goes to show you the nerve of some people. They'll try to make you look like the bad guy, as in the case of this story right here. We're about to find out right now. It says that it was reported to the police that Dawkins gave a self-serving statement during questioning that was determined not to be consistent with the evidence obtained throughout the course of the investigation. And now let me ask you all this, family, before I close up. What do you think a self-serving statement is? A self-serving statement is this right here. That's a person trying to make themselves out to be the good guy and make you out to be the bad guy, when really they are the bad guy and you are the good guy. So basically, he was trying to tell the police that what happened did not take place, even though he's the one that's alive, even though he's the one that was a bomb, and also even though he was the one staying at a church and the pastor was helping him. Now, he'll try to make the police believe that the pastor was at fault, when clearly the pastor was not at fault. And also, sir, it's a locksmith there with the pastor. So you cannot sit up here and tell the world, tell the courtroom that you are the good guy and the pastor was the bad guy, when you are the one that's alive and the pastor is the one dead, stabbed multiple times. That's a damn shame right there. But it goes to show you the nerve of some people. And now in closing, we're going to hear what Pastor Lenoir's wife had to say about him. She says this right here. He was a very good example of a selfless individual, a joy-filled person, said his wife. And the pastor's wife goes on to say, he always smiled, even if things were looking kind of grim and dreary. You wouldn't know it by his countenance. Goes to show you this man was at peace. This man had peace in his heart. This man had love in his heart. This man had God in his heart. Now look here. I know you have all kinds of YouTubers bring y'all all kinds of stories, but guess what? It's like this with me. If I can talk about the bad preachers in the world, I can also talk to you about the good ones in the world. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. And once again, this story is not meant to make nobody not want to help nobody. This story is just meant to shed a light, to enlighten you. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get blinded by our hearts. Sometimes we get blinded by our eyes. But you have to understand, when you see some of these people out in this world, and they down their luck, they in the gutter or whatnot, you have to understand, true enough, now all of them deserve to be there. But you have some of them that really, truthfully, in fact, as the story illustrates, they deserve to be there. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also, share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed, and I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.
Knowing that there's no failure in God. And whatever God said he's going to do, he's still going to do it.